Hey guys! I'm Andrea.
And I'm Kyleigh. Welcome to the second episode of the International Diaries podcast.
For today's episode, we're going to talk about our IB experience and students.
Yeah, so we're just going to introduce all the parts of IB. So first part is the main part of IB, which is the courses. So we take a mix of SL and HL courses, and SL basically is just like
standard level.
Yeah, it's standard level. I think in America it's the equivalent to like APs, if you know that. No, in America it is. And then HL is the equivalent to like college level classes. So it's
high level.
Yeah, so in H level or in higher level classes, there's more hours of learning,
more content,
and
more depth.
Yeah.
You have to have 3 HL and 3 SL to take the IB. So basically it's by group. So you have math, humanities, science, arts, and languages. You can decide to not take any arts and to add like one science or one humanity to your program.
Which is very common for people who are doing like medical stuff or law. Like it's very common, but it depends. Like the arts aren't very common to do.
So Kyleigh, what classes are you taking?
Okay, so for math, I take math AASL. For science, I take environmental systems and societies SL, or HL. For English, I do English language and literature HL. For humanities, I take econ HL. For art, I take art SL, and language, I take Japanese ab initio SL. So ab initio is also like the easiest one. So there's ab initio for language, there's B, and there's A. So B is just like the medium level, and A is like native speakers and stuff like that. What classes are you taking for IB?
IB, I take theater HL, bio HL, and business management HL, which is part of my humanities, and I take that online course, Pamoja. And as my SL, I have Spanish B, SL, English literature, language and literature SL, and math AI SL. So for a little information and context, you have two types of math. So you have what she takes AA and what I take AI. So AI is about interpretation, interpretation, or something like this. So it's more like we're going to explain paper 1, paper 2, but when you take your paper 1 and your paper 2, you're allowed to use your calculator all the way through compared to AA. And it will be like the course will be more about like how real life example will be like we'll use math compared to AA. But like I'm gonna let her talk about it because she's taking it.
Yeah, in AA we also use some like real world examples, but for AA on paper 1 we have no calculator, and paper 2 we can use a calculator. So that's kind of different from AI. And then also just some of the things we learn. Like I know right now we're doing like sequences and series and stuff like that. And then next we have numbers and algebra. Ours is definitely more like calculus kind of based. If you take AA, it's more you want to do something in the math field, especially if you're taking AAHL. The problem with AAHL and the reason I don't take it is because it moves so insanely fast. And these students, like I walk by their classroom and they look so miserable, and I feel
They're
so bad.
always working.
They're
like
always
I've never
working.
seen one AAHL class, at least for like senior, who doesn't work during class time. Like I know for us, so let's say that AISL is the easiest math you can take for some people at least. And it's true that sometimes we're just like goofing around, like playing games to like practice and stuff. And whenever I walk by, like when I go to the bathroom or something, whenever I walk by the AHL, I'm like, oh my god, I feel so sorry for them.
They look like they're in so much pain. And like every time they have a test, they're talking about it and they're like I can't do anything else. And also the problem is like a lot of those students also take like Chem HL and Bio HL, like hard science and math classes. So they're like really pushing themselves and stuff, and they don't have a lot of time. And even, I don't know about you, but our math teacher says that we should be doing at least 1 to 2 hours of math every single day to like get a good score on the IB exam.
Like I guess if you want like a 7 or something,
I
guess obviously you need to work for it. Like I know that me, for example, I work like depending on how big the chapter is, or like how hard it is for me, I will definitely take more time. But like I'll say like 1 hour for me, and I'm not
Yeah.
aiming for a 7.
Yeah.
So like I got, for example, it's an example, right? I just got a chapter 9 test recently where I got a 6 out of 7. So we're gonna talk about like how they grade it. But I got a 6 out of 7, and I think I didn't work that much. Like honestly, like I did like I wrote like a sheet to like explanations and stuff.
Yeah.
But like other than that, I didn't really like practice. Like I did some practice questions, but honestly, AISL like it's more like your knowledge. You'll have like you definitely have like the how do you say, you know, the paper with all the formula
Like a
sheets,
booklet, yeah. Formula sheet.
and so you have a formula sheet, and yeah, so and you also have your calculator. So like for example, right now chapter 7, it was a lot about like graphing on the calculator
Mhm.
and like tables and stuff. So honestly, like you just have to understand it.
Yeah.
If you don't know exactly what you have to do, just like understand what you're doing.
I don't know if this is for you in math too, or if it's just AA. But all of our tests are like cumulative. So every time like we learn a unit, you take the test for that unit. But then like the next unit, when like so we just finished the first unit. When we take the next one, it will have stuff that we just learned from that unit, and then also from the previous unit. And then when we're on our last unit, like it will have all the stuff. So it like really helps enforce it, because the thing is, DP is a 2-year program, so you're learning stuff from 2 years, unlike other schools where it's just like 1 year and you're tested on that, or even like midterms and you're tested on that. We have to remember stuff from 2 years, and then we're tested on it at the end of the 2 years. So that's part of it. A lot of the tests, like you just continue to apply the knowledge and over again, and you really have to practice like old information so it doesn't go out of your brain. But yeah.
So IB way of grading is based on criterias, like depending on what subject you take.
Yeah.
So different criterias are like related to different skills. Like for example, criterion A is like, again, depending on what subject, what like
Yeah, it
topic
changes
you're
every
talking.
subject.
Like it could be like understanding the subject, like applying correctly, or like stuff like this. And basically on overall, your whole grade will be over a 7. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and each like number is a different like
level, kind of.
No, it's like different amount of point you
Yeah.
got throughout your test.
Yeah.
Like for example, I'm gonna take this example. Like I got 18 out of 25 in Spanish, for example, as my listening, which is the equivalent of a 7. So from 18 to 25, it's a 7. Lower, like I think it depends on like what subjects and like what like level you're taking it, but you all have like this.
Yeah, it's like this to this number of marks is a 1, this to this is a 2. Like they do
like
that for
by
everything,
percentage.
And
like for bio, for example, for us it's percentage. So if you have like, let's say, imagine you have between 0 to 10%, you have a 1. No, you have a 0.
Zeros and ones are very hard to get, by the way. Like that, it's very rare that you hear someone get a 0 or a 1. I remember when I was in like MYP, they said the only way you could get a 0 is if you didn't write anything, you didn't even put your name on the test.
I did get a 0 in humanities.
You did?
My grade 10. I forgot to submit the research document, and she put me 0 as my research.
Yeah, but it is really rare to get. Like I don't hear of kids getting 0s or 1s. Honestly, I don't hear of many 2s. I don't know if I've heard a 2 yet this year.
There's a lot of 3.
3 is very common.
Me in bio.
Me in math.
But
4s is like okay.
Yeah. Like I'll say that 4 is the middle. So like it's a okay grade.
Like I think people think of it as 0 is like 0% and a 4 is like 50%, but that's not true at all. Like I would say a 4 is maybe more equivalent to like a C, if you know like American grading, and a 0 is like, I don't know, a 0 is pretty low.
But again, like I would say, if you've been to MYP, you will understand the grading way better.
Yeah, but the thing is, when you go from MYP to DP, So MYP is 1 to 8, DP is 1 to 7. So they just
Yeah,
take
but
off
like
the 8.
the idea of it
It's still the
is
same.
the
Yeah.
same.
And the same thing with like criterions and stuff like that. It's
Yeah,
still
yeah.
like the same or similar. Okay, so the next thing is CAS, which we're doing right now. But CAS stands for creativity, activity, and service. So creativity is like a lot of going to be like arts, and it's going to be like your music, just stuff that you're really applying like your
Like
creativity skills to.
learning a language,
Yeah,
for
learning a
example.
language, anything like that is really like creative. Whereas activity is more so like sports, like you're doing something physical. And then service is very much like giving back to the community, or like animal clubs, soup kitchen, like stuff like that. And I don't know other people's opinions on CAS. I know some people don't like it, but me personally, I really, really enjoy CAS because, anyways, like you for college you have to join clubs and you have to like show initiative and do a lot of these things anyways, and the fact that we're almost forced to do it, not maybe not forced is the right
We
word,
are.
but like kind of, yeah, we're forced.
Basically, as grade 11, 12, you have to have your CAS. If not, you will not
Graduate IB.
graduate IB.
Yeah.
So you kind of have to. Like our podcast is our CAS project, which
Mhm.
is a project that you have to do related to a CAS. That has to be a service.
Yeah, and it's like ongoing, it's collaborative.
Yeah, it has to be collaborative with another student, and it has to go over like a month or something.
Yeah, or like 2 months maybe.
Yeah. So this is our CAS project, guys.
Yeah, you guys are just witnessing our CAS project.
But in general, so as we said, you cannot not do CAS as an IB student, which can seem like a bit complicated. My biggest like advice is that you should do your CAS project as a grade 11 when you don't have as much to do as a senior, because I'm going to talk about it later, like later on this episode. But you have a lot of essay to write, a lot of work to do in addition to your like classes and tests. So I'll say like definitely try to do your CAS project in your first year of IB, as it will help you like get it over with and like completely like.
Yeah, and I know a lot
be
of
done with
kids
it.
try and do most or majority of their like just CAS in general in their 11th grade year, because when you get to senior year, like you have IB and you're taking IB and obviously everything's getting harder and you're getting more information and stuff, and then you have additional things on top of it, which we'll talk about, like your EE, your TOK class. But you also have to think of it like in senior year, you're applying to colleges, so you're already writing all these essays for colleges and stuff like that. So you're just so busy senior year that it's very helpful to try and do as much as you can in the first year of IB, when things are maybe a little bit easier and you're not doing as much stuff.
One thing I will add to that, like to kind of like close it, um, as I've learned this year, unfortunately, your CAS has to be continuative. It has to go all the way from your beginning of junior year to the end of your senior year, including the summer break or like break time. So basically, what we use is ManageBack. And from ManageBack, you can see like the timeline of like activities, service, and stuff that you do throughout the years. And I've learned like beginning of senior year that you have to have your like at least one CAS during like your summertime. So I had, let's not repeat it to someone, but I did like fake it. I did say that I took care of children. I like, but hey, I did. But like, it wasn't as a CAS. It was my family, so it doesn't like really work. But I said it did because I needed something. And so just so if you know, if you understand it before, then good. But like, if you didn't remember that, it's really important to have like something in between.
Yeah,
your
you need to
two
have like
years.
continuity for the whole 2 years.
Yeah.
Another thing is, something kind of different about IB is you have to work in your summers, you have to work all your weekends, you have to work on your breaks, because you're retaining all this information for 2 years. You cannot do nothing on your summer break. You can't just like slack off. And I think it really holds you accountable. And I've heard from a lot of people that taking IB is very helpful for college, because you get so disciplined from taking IB. I learned very quick when I was doing sports and clubs and almost coming home late every single day, getting home at 6, and or maybe 7 even, and I had to eat dinner in like less than 10. I had to eat dinner in like 10 minutes and shower really quick. And I had maybe 3 or 4 hours to do my homework because I wanted to get good sleep too. Like you learn very quick how to manage your time. And I think it's very helpful, but it is definitely stressful and you just have to learn how to deal with that.
I think it depends on the person. My honest opinion is that, like, I think we will talk about it later on, but I don't feel like going to university. I don't feel ready for it, like mentally, physically, like I don't know what I want to do, so it's kind of an issue for me. And honestly, for me, who's not like generally like writing essays or applying to university right now, I feel like I'm spending a lot of time doing stuff that will not help me in the future. Where I know that for you, Kylie, is like you're gonna go to the uni, like you're going you're wow, you're gonna go to uni, you're gonna like write essays and stuff. So I know it's gonna be helpful for you. As for me, who don't know what I want to do, I'm just wondering like, what am I doing here? It's tough. It's not my first language. It's like I'm literally crashing out almost every single day. What is going on with me? Like help.
Yeah.
Like
I think another good thing about going to an international school is they're very mindful of like all the
Mhm.
paths you'll have after high school. It's not just like everyone's going to go to college. Like I think in my old school, everyone's path after high school is very college focused. Here, obviously, we have international schools, so some students have to go to military right after high school. Some students have to go on missions for their churches and stuff like that. And some students are going to take a gap year. Some kids are not going to go to college. But I think it's very helpful because it doesn't force you to be thinking about college if you don't want to go to college or don't know what you want to do. And I just think that's really good because not everyone needs to go to college for what they want to do. Not everyone really wants to. And especially with us, there's so many students that are already living in countries different than their family, and some of them just want to go back with their families and stuff like that. And I think it's just whatever you see your path as, and that's your future. But yeah.
okay, so this part will be more like about like me and about seniors.
Mm-hmm.
Um so first I'm gonna talk about TOK, theory of knowledge. If you're wondering what it is basically a mix of like philosophy.
It's a mix of a lot of things, like
It's like it's really
philosophy,
vague.
psychology,
Yeah.
like religion, like everything.
So basically, TOK for us at least. I don't know how other schools do it. For us, you start your TOK. So first, if you take IB, you have to take TOK. It's a you don't choose. Oh, I want TOK. I
Because
want
it's
TOK.
in the points
You
for
have
your
to.
final IB score. Like you can, it's out of 3 points.
Yeah. So it's like ABC, and so out of 3 points, you can get 1 point, 2 point, 3 points. So it's like good if you're like if you need any additional points. So basically, for us, first year, so let's say semester wise, the first semester of junior year, you don't do anything.
You have a
Second
free.
semester of junior year, you start your TOK, and this will go until first semester of senior year. So right now, she doesn't have it, but I do have it.
Yeah.
After second semester of senior year, you're just studying for your exams. You have like privileges and stuff, at least for us. So during those 2 years, those 2 semesters, your first semester you will work on your expo no exhibition TOK exhibition, which you will have a prompt that you will have to relate to like objects or stuff like this. So I'll say that your first year of TOK, at least for us, where we did religion and technology, you have other stuff, but like we didn't talk about it. And then on your like end of first year, beginning of second year, you will work on AOKs, which is areas of knowledge. And this is about like classes. So like you have natural science, arts, history, um, human science, math. And so basically, you're just going to talk about the subject and you're going to explain how it goes, like what it is, how it goes through like different stuff and whatever. So it's really like mentally, like it's not hard in a way that you're never wrong. Whatever you say, you will never be wrong unless you're like really saying like, oh, the earth is flat. But you'll never be wrong because it's always about like perspective, your own perspective, how you see things. And So at the end of your second year, you will have to write the TOK essay, which is an essay about like a problem that you choose related to AOKs. So this is about 2K. So you have like two really big like assignments that will count. I'll say that the exhibition is easier if you're better at like expressing yourself. If you need to explain, you just do like a poster and you just have to explain to like people. Where the 2K essay is more like you have to really like put down whatever you think. You have to like organize it, like make the like outline and stuff. So it's again, it's a lot about like writing, which lead me on to the EE extended essay. As an IB student, you have to take it, and this is where we make the relation with you never stop working, even in your summer break.
Yes, you have to do basically the draft in your summer.
Because extended essay, you choose, okay, so you choose a subject that you take, and you have to create a research question about it, and you'll have to write an extended essay about it, where you'll have your research, you'll have your own like methods and tools that you've like learned throughout the years and blah blah blah. So this you start working on it in your junior year.
Yeah, we started like around when semester 2 starts, I think is when we're going to start it for juniors.
So you have, let's say junior year, you'll start like working, thinking about it. My biggest advice, please, please, please work on it during summer. I know it seems like worst thing
Pain.
ever, pain, but I'd say it from experience. Work on it during summer. Basically, what they usually say is that you do your outline, you do your like you start like doing your research end of junior year. You do your research and then you write your draft during summer, because your draft will be sent only once to your supervisor that will review it, give you like feedback, and with those feedback you have to write your actual essay. I will tell you my like what I did, because it's such a bad example, so do the opposite. What I did is that first of all I used ChatGPT to search up research question, because I did not know, which I think is fine, as in like if it's something that you're interested in, it's good. Choose something you're interested in. I'm not even kidding right
Because
now
you're going
when
to
I'm
have to
saying that.
write like, how many words is it? It's like
A lot of words.
Yeah, it's
Like-
like 5 to 8,000
like
words or something.
12 pages or like
Yeah,
something
12
like this.
pages of like writing, so you really need to be like
So
passionate.
choose something you like. So what I did is I always procrastinated it. I didn't work on it during summer, and here I am with 900 words. First draft was submitted already. I got almost zero feedback because I didn't have anything. And my due date is November 5th, and we're October 24th.
Yeah,
So
and
I
I have a break next week.
1 week to write my whole essay down, which is where I'm telling you, work on it during summer. Like I have friends that have all of their words in, their whole essay is done, and here I am with 900 words. 3 page. I have 3 page, and 12 due in like 1 week.
Yeah,
So how am I gonna do that?
don't procrastinate in IB.
Yeah,
Biggest tip.
I'll say biggest advice in IB: do not let yourself be like, oh, I can do it later. I can do it like the day before. Do not do that.
You'll learn
You
very
will
fast
always
that
have
doesn't
something
work.
to do.
Mhm.
So use your time wisely. Manage your time. Like I'm not saying you have to like quit hanging out with your friend or stuff. It's definitely like a good way to like escape from school.
Mhm.
But work like whenever you have time, whenever you have a free. Don't do like me. Don't go like wandering around the school like when you have a free. Work. Use your time wisely. That is my biggest advice.
Yeah. And the last thing with like IB related stuff that we're going to talk about is just the score, like final IB scores and predictive scores, which might not make sense to most people, because for people who are going to college, in our first year we don't get our final IB scores. You only get them in your second year, so you can't actually what is it called? What's the word? Like you can't actually give the colleges your scores and stuff when you're applying. So we get predictive scores. So your teacher basically looks at all your tests in the past maybe year and a half, I think, and really sees like how they think you're going to do and just tries to predict what they think you're going to get on the final IB exams. And so whatever that is, you put to colleges, but then on your final IB scores, I think
It's your
after you
finals.
get them, yeah, it's your
Like-
finals. After you get them, you can put them to colleges. If you do better, then that's good. If you do worse, sometimes I have heard of students that did worse than their predictive, had problems with colleges and stuff, and the colleges like dropped them or problems with that. But yeah, it's really just you have to be consistent in IB.
One thing I've learned, it doesn't apply to me, but one thing I've learned is that some of the time your college will look into your predicted and not your final grade. I mean, like, they will look more at your predicted than your final grade, which means that you have to work hard all the way through until like the end to have a good like grade at the end of it. So I'll say the good thing about predicted grade is like, for example, if you have a bad predicted grade, you know that you will have to work hard in this subject. Like, I know that my predicted grade in bio will not be that high because I've always had like gotten threes and stuff. So I definitely know that for my final exam, I will have to work hard for my bio. In a class that I have like easy grades or whatever, which I don't, but like if I did, I knew that like it's not something I will need to spend the most time on. So it's definitely like a difference for me. It's like, for example, my predicted are not that important for me as other people. So I've kind of like relaxed more than others. So
Yeah.
that's about, yeah.
Okay, now that's it with all the like school kind of stuff.
Yeah,
So we want to
let's
get
talk more
into like
fun.
athletics and stuff. So both of us do athletics. It's a good part to be in like cast and stuff for the activity strand. We have an athletic event going on right now, so there's a bunch of people. So sorry about that. But we're both student athletes, so we play volleyball, and we just wrapped up our season. And next season we're gonna be playing touch rugby. And then last season, so we have 3 seasons. Last season we do soccer, and so with this we have practices Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday
For 2 hours.
Yeah, for 2 hours.
And then you have games on Saturdays or Sundays.
Sometimes Sundays, depending. But with touch rugby, it's the only sport that we don't have games until the final like sporting conference. So it's kind of nice that we'll have like weekends off. But with this, like learning how to manage the time you have outside of sports and stuff is very important. I know a lot of the coaches are more lenient with the 11th and 12th graders and just DP students in general because they do understand how much work you're doing, and then you're coming and doing a sport for so many hours, and you also are trying to be the best in your sport. But there is definitely like with student athlete balance, you just have to manage your time like so well. I think there's also a big mental aspect to it because like when you're in sports, you can't be thinking about school. And I don't know, I think when you're in school, for me, it helps thinking about sports. I don't know if that's for everyone. For me, like knowing that I'm gonna have practice at the end of the day is like my highlight, and it like makes me push through the day more than if I don't have sports. But when you're in sports, if you're stressing about school, you're not gonna play as well. You just have to. For me, like when I'm in a game or when I'm just playing at practice, I just push everything to the side so I can be the best that I am in my sport. But yeah.
Okay, so a little bit about like our school, like how it works out with sport. Our school, high school wise, we have JV and varsity teams. JV is junior varsity, and varsity is like varsity.
Some sports don't have a JV.
Yeah, because not enough people. So basically, varsity means that you will have the chance to go to an international conference with other
international
Asian
schools.
Pacific schools. So from China, Korea, sometimes Vietnam, sometimes Philippines, like different places.
Yeah, it's all in like a certain region of Asia.
So, so right now there's one going on, so that's what there's.
Yeah, there you go. They're all in like sporting uniforms too.
So, as a varsity, you have a national tournament in Japan with like the other varsity teams of like international schools in Japan, and then you have the like, as we said, the international tournament. As a JV, you only have the national tournament with other JV teams of like other like schools. So I'll say like varsity is the better players compared to JV. Obviously, they have like a better chance of winning, so that's why they are at university.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of time being a varsity athlete is hard, tough because you miss school time to go for the tournament,
Travel, and you miss like a week of school. Like it's not like
like
2 days.
half a week.
Like it is. Yeah, they are gone right now from this Wednesday until Sunday. So you're missing 3 days of school, and you're also missing a weekend.
Yeah.
So it is a lot, and you have to do work on the trip. You can't just like not do work. You have to do work because we have to fly to the tournaments and stuff like that. The national ones we take the train, but international you have to fly.
So as we said, it's a lot of like time management. So you have to balance to be able to balance like whenever you go to practice 2 hours, so you go back to at home at like 6. So you have to balance like your work, your homework, your test, and then when you go international, you have to balance like when you're missing a test, you need to take it another time during your free or like whenever you have like free periods or whatever. And one other thing with like a tournament is that you also have the arts like tournament. It's not a tournament, it's more like arts conference where you have theater, orchestra, choir,
Wait, one sec.
and band. And basically same, you go international to do your like performance or whatever. And again, this is time management because you need to like balance whenever you go out of the country, you miss school time, you miss practice for sports. It's like really like, I feel like those things that will help you.
Don't mind the background, y'all. They're getting hyped.
um but in general, like being an athlete as well as like an artistic person or whatever, whenever you're at least in an international school in Asia, depending if you're part of these conferences or not, it means a lot of time management. It means a lot, like it can be really intense mentally and physically for like the athletes and like the students and everything. So in general, there's so many people. In general,
There's like 100 people just standing over here watching us, Loki. Oh,
no,
okay,
no, no, we
just
need to
cover
hide.
it.
We need to hide. We need to hide. So in general, like this is how we manage IB as a
Yeah.
student. Like my biggest tips. Let's go like a tips.
Yeah.
So my biggest tips will be if you're an athlete, be able to manage, know your limits, know like when you need to like take a break or whatever. As an IB student, I'll say never procrastinate. Be able to like also have some times for yourself because it's a lot. And I think sometimes I need breaks. I need to like be able to say, okay, I'm not being productive right now. I've been spending like 1 hour on the same sentence over and over again. Take a break. Go like, okay, boom, we stop for like 30 minutes, like go on your social, like no, okay, don't go on
Maybe
social.
don't go on social media.
No, like
I know
take
people
time
who
to
are gonna
like,
delete social media because
yeah,
they're IB and
I
stuff.
have a friend who did delete social media for like a whole month so she could lock in and stuff. Oh my god, it's getting really loud. But in general, like never procrastinate, take time for yourself, know your limits. um and I'll say like really study throughout the year. Don't like being like, oh, I'm gonna study last minute. No, don't do that. This is dumb. This is the dumbest thing you can ever do, and I'm talking because I did that.
From experience.
That is from experience. Don't do that. That is so dumb. Like I took my mocks, I studied like last minute mocks. How do you think it went? Not well. Like, be intelligent. Like, I'm not even kidding. Be intelligent enough to say there's going to be a lot of content throughout those 2 years. So take notes. Be mindful to like your time and your classes. Because like some people take really hard classes, like HL Bio, HL Chem.
Yeah, HL
Manage
physics,
that.
like
Manage that. Like honestly, be like intelligent enough to know what to do, when to do it, and like throughout those 2 years.
I would say organization is very key, not just in the way of like organizing all your stuff, but really knowing like what homework you have to do, what you have to study, and then
That's
like
true,
scheduling when you're gonna do it so that you're very organized and you just have like a plan for it. I think it's very helpful. I think almost giving yourself a day off or an hour off or a couple hours off is very helpful. So for me, I work all throughout the week, and then maybe Fridays I'll let myself have a free day and I go out with friends or something. Or Saturdays, if I don't have games, I'll go out with friends. And then Sunday is like my very strict like everything kind of day. Like it's just the reset for school. I do all my work. I shower, I everything. Like it's just my reset day, getting ready for school. If I have holidays or if we have like one extra day off, then I'll do 2 extra days of studying, or I'll do an extra day of
Mm.
fun. But just really balancing like your fun, your like life, and your work and your athletics. Like I think is very very important. It's all about balance in IB, and you just have to be ready for that and have a good 2 years. So
Yeah.
yeah, but I
But
think it's really helpful that we have one person, me, who's in her first year of
yeah.
IB, and one person who's in her second year, because it kind of shows you the different perspectives, like how I am as a first year and how she is as a second year.
But also like be be like just know that I'm not a hard worker. Like I'm not aiming for sevens. I'm not aiming for six. I'm literally aiming for like
I'm aiming for
half.
6 and 7s.
So yeah. But anyway, I hope you'll have a good day, guys. Enjoy the podcast.
We're gonna post. We post episodes every other Friday, so the week after when this one is posted, like the next week after this one's posted, is when the next episode's gonna be.
Yeah.
And we have a school break, so
Yay!
we'll see you guys after the break.
Yeah, bye.
Thank you for listening to this episode, and hopefully we're getting better as episodes.
And subscribe.
Subscribe, and watch all of them. Like, comment nice things, or else we're gonna delete all your comments.
Or like ideas of what you want us to talk about.
Exactly, yeah. Comment ideas. Bye bye.
Bye.